how can we solve them? Okay, so we'll look into the same diagrams and we're going to talk about what are the solutions for it. Okay, I'll discuss a solution one at a time. One solution that the government has is to hand out subsidies to the producers of these essential goods industry, because it has to be an essential. If you want the prices to come down, the reason why you have implemented PMAX in the first place is that you want certain class of people to be able to afford the good, but unfortunately it creates a shortage in the market. So if you give subsidies, what will it do? Well, the subsidy is going to shift the supply curve to the right, okay, and it's going to start reducing the price. And if you look over here, the shortage which was there from QS to QD is now starting to reduce. As you're giving more and more and more subsidies, almost the shortage has become too little, and if you have given enough subsidy, the shortage disappears, the prices comes down, the quantity increases, the problem is solved. Okay, through subsidies you can solve the problem, but the problem really is that what if the government does not have funds for it, or the government has given subsidies but the producers don't make proper use of it, right? They produce the same amount, keep the subsidies and more profits for them, right? And it happens all the time. The governments are getting these firms do get subsidies in our agriculture markets and all that, and if not properly supervised, producers may end up making more profits. Okay, so the prices don't go down really, and even if they do go down, the producers, it won't go down because the producers are not going to use the subsidy to make more output. So that's one way of solving this problem of the shortage that we had over here by increasing subsidies. The second solution to the problem that we can have is, how about let the private sector produce QS, the government produces the shortfall. Okay, the government produces the shortfall. How can they do that? Well, through public corporations. They can allow the public corporations to take on those goods and services ki production, and they can produce that. But again, there's a problem over here, that again, one thing is government will have to spend money, give money to the public corporations to run it, but public corporations can produce it and sell it. But big problem that can come with that is that public corporations may lack knowledge or expertise to run something like this, and they may be ineffective. Okay, and plus pata ye laga ki governments may have to give them subsidies because they've been making losses and all that problems, because we know that public corporations, according to our course, they're not efficient enough, right? So that's another problem. So you have a solution, but you have a problem to that solution as well. Another way is that government, if it's a good which can be imported, the governments can import the shortfall. Again, if the world prices are low enough. So you can import the shortfall, that would solve the problem. But again, there is a problem in that also, because what if your balance of payment may worsen as a result of that? Okay, so there's a problem that we have over there as well. Okay, so 3 problem solutions that we suggested might help out over here, but they all had their shortcomings. There's another one, the last one, let me talk about that one. It's called rationing. Okay. Now, rationing is usually done in times of war or serious economic issues. Basically, and this is something that, like let's suppose in coronavirus things, the virus testing kits, right? The government knows that if we give it to the private sector, they're going to end up making a lot of money to it. So what the government does is they take over all of it, and then they start rationing it out to different hospitals according to what they feel is going to benefit the society overall. And that's what rationing is, to distribute people not according to the wants and the ability, but rather on the need basis. Okay. The problem with this is there is a very inefficient distribution that comes about because of this, and there are long queues that it creates, because if it's on the demand and the supply and simple, the if you're willing to pay that price for it, there's not going to be much lines, the markets is going to settle, and there's going to be plenty for everyone. But if it's rationed out, it's not on the basis of the price, and it's accessible to a lot more people, it automatically creates sort of like a shortage. But we're saying a person cannot get tested himself twice, okay, just for his own peace of mind, but we want to make sure that everyone gets a chance on it. So obviously there are much more bigger lines over here to deal with this problem. So even rationing, and in fact, if the government is not competent enough, then this rationing can actually worsen. Okay.